Okay.
Hey, welcome everybody out. This is Cassia essential oil tonight. She's put some things together for us.
Thank you, Ben. We've been quite busy today, but this is an exciting oil. Has anybody used Cassia before?
Not me.
No, it's a fairly uncommon oil, I guess. Not a lot of people have used it. So,
if you haven't experienced Cassia, it's very similar to cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, some producers of essential oils,
I can't tell the difference.
yeah, they swap them for each other, which is not honest to do, but they smell so closely in regards to each other that.
It's one of the first oils that I actually wanted because I saw the oils of the Bible video a long time ago. And so I was taking notes on different ones. And I didn't get it till recently though, but I made sure I had it before this class so that I can experience it while we're doing it.
You're the best student.
Cassia is also a very hot essential oil, so you want to dilute it.
Yeah, everybody listening, remember Cassia is a hot oil, so we're going to dilute it before we use it. Okay.
Unless you like the burn.
Yeah, people do. Yeah, so, if you're unfamiliar with Cassia, when you smell it, it's going to smell like cinnamon. So what do you think, Stacey? Does it smell like cinnamon to you?
Yeah, it's slightly different if you know what cinnamon smells like, but it's very close. There's just a slight difference somehow, but I do like it.
Mm-hmm. It's got a little bit of less sweetness about it.
Mm-hmm.
So cinnamon is a slightly sweeter one, and Cassia is not as sweet. In some places, they call it fake cinnamon. But it's an oil of its own, so poor Cassia. Yeah. So anyways, a summary of Cassia is here on this poster. It's warming oil for cold hands and feet, digestive support, cleansing ear, nose, and throat. So when you take it, it kind of cleans out things, blocked things inside. And you can use it for massaging when you have water retention. Great for insulin for those people that need that support. And emotionally, it's great for self-acceptance, helping you feel valuable, courage, and confidence. And hopefully tonight I can help you understand why that's the case. All right, anyone with questions or comments, just butt in anytime, or there's a little chat text group here that you could jump on and ask questions as well, okay? And we can pause. Alrighty. So Cassia is in the same family as cinnamon, but it's a different tree. So the tree bark is where it comes from, and it's a little bit of a tougher, harder bark. With cinnamon, it's a softer version. So we actually, there's a lot of people that use the Cassia in cooking, so they just use that the bark and just throw it into the soups and things. So that's really very common in Asia. And the most important thing you have to remember about Cassia is that it's hot. Okay, so we want to dilute it before you put it on your skin. And like Ben said, if you drink it, if you want the burn, you know how you're going to get it.
Okay. Gotta put hair on your chest.
Yeah.
Cassia is actually a really good one to put in cologne. Nice. It's got a nice smell to it for a cologne. So.
Yeah. So you can actually buy it in a 15 ml. So that's different to the cinnamon. The cinnamon only comes in a 5 ml. You can get more. So sometimes I like to help people save a little bit of money and just use Cassia instead, because sometimes Cassia does very similar things to cinnamon. Okay. In the Bible, we can read about Cassia in Exodus 30, 23 to 38. And it's actually the formula that God gave to Moses. So that formula includes myrrh, cinnamon, and calamus. And I don't know what calamus is or smells like or what it does. And I hope they reveal that to a convention maybe this year. Ooh. Okay. Anyways.
5 new singles.
Yeah. So never know. So anyways, this is a fantastic blend. You know, you can see that it does a lot of things. But Moses made about 11 cups of this formula. And you think to yourself, well, that's a lot of essential oils, right? But if you remember, Moses was in charge of 40,000 Israelites. So that's a lot of people to anoint. And they use this on the altars. And you know, what we know about the oils today, we know that it has a lot of powerful cleansing property. All right, and purifying properties against germs and things. So what do they do on the altars? Sacrifice. Yeah, animal sacrifice. So yeah, it's a very good idea to cleanse that one, right? So that is the oil of the Bible reference. Okay, now I found this in Dr. Susan Lawton's book. It's Living Healthily, Happily Ever After. And I just put a little quote here, and I'll read it to you. Phenols and phenylpropanoids are compounds of carbon ring molecules that create conditions where unfriendly viruses and bacteria cannot live. The most important function performed by the phenylpropanoids, I hope I'm saying it right, is that they clean the receptor sites on cells. So without clean receptor sites, cells cannot communicate and the body malfunctions, resulting in sickness. And with the doTERRA Cassia, we have it in high concentration. So about 80% is phenylpropanoids. So that is awesome. I love it because it's sort of like the refining fire inside your body. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So keep that in mind. Fire. Okay. Mm-hmm. And welcome, Debbie. Welcome, Ron. So let's go to the body, what it can do for the body. All right, one very important thing that I like about Cassia is it's like cinnamon. It's very powerful for insulin. Okay, so you can do 5 drops of Cassia, 4 drops of coriander, 3 drops of grapefruit in an empty capsule, and you can take it before meals. You can do it about 3 times a day. If you want to, you can do that for 2 weeks and then swap it with cinnamon and see which one's better. I have a lot of friends that do this, and they just take their blood sugar readings after meals, and you know, they just do it regularly and they check, and their numbers go down to really close to normal within about 3 months. So that is exciting for those people who need that help. I have a little girl down here in Santa Rosa, and her family just found out that she has type 1 diabetes, and so we wanted to support her pancreas, and we did lots of these oils, and now she doesn't need any shots or medications, and it's only been about 6 months, and that was fantastic because the family thought that this is going to be something for life, because she had 2 generations of grandparents that have it, so on both sides. So they were kind of surprised and happily just feeling like they were able to help themselves, very empowered. All right, so that is something we can do for our friends who need help with balancing the insulin in their body. Alrighty. So the warming part of it, because it's warm, it does a lot of fantastic things. So think of the hot oils as fire inside your body. So sometimes we have cold hands and feet, and so you can just dilute the cassia and rub it on your hands and feet. Sometimes I would soak with Epsom salt and water. So cassia on the skin first, and then soak during winter times. And in the States, you guys are lucky because, you know, your houses don't freeze up like in Australia. They don't have great insulation. So when I was there, it was winter time last year, I showed my parents how to do that. Yeah, and it was kind of fun because they were both sitting there with their own little foot soaks. You can add frankincense and lavender to it. So here's a recipe: 4 drops of cassia, 4 drops of frankincense, and 6 drops of lavender to this blend. So if you're really got seriously cold feet and hands, okay, but in your feet afterwards, just put some cotton socks on so the oils can just kind of warm up and soak in more because of the warmth. All right, so that's that. Cassia is fantastic for digestion. So we know some of the fantastic oils for digestion, right? We've got, you know, the cinnamon, we've got fennel, peppermint, and all of these other wonderful oils for digestion. So sometimes you want to shake it up and change it up a little bit. So cassia is a great oil to put in there, okay? So that is for digestion. Okay, so it does clean the air. Like I said, it's got powerful germ-destroying, purifying properties. And I'm really grateful for the TERRA dictionary that we have on our website. I look at what I want to say and then I just copy the phrase that is compliant. You can put that in the diffuser and diffuse that as often as you like. Okay, so that's to clean the air. So connecting to that is the immune boosting for seasonal changes. You can do this for 21 days in a row. Okay, sometimes people have been sick and they haven't been able to shake it, you know, and so if you want to just reboot your whole system, this is one way to do it. So cassia, 5 drops, cypress, 9 drops, basil, 7 drops, and white fir, 5 drops, lavender, 5 drops, 8 drops of lemon oil, and put all of that in a roller bottle. I'll fill up the rest with fractionated coconut oil, of course, and I should put it here. I missed it, but just roll it on the bottom of your feet for about 21 days. If you can do it in the morning and at night, that'll be good, okay? All right, so the next one is for to support cartilage and joint function, okay? Cassia, 4 drops, patchouli, 2 drops, and coconut oil, 12 drops, gently blended together and massage it on the areas that you need to. So your hands and your joints, your knees, back, okay, anywhere you need that support. Okay. So some of our friends that are slightly elderly and your daughter may want to switch up and try that too. Stacey, yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so it just warms up things, cleans up, because you know that a lot of our problems is a fungus problem, right?
Right.
It warms it up and helps with that. All right, so fatigue. We don't have to be fatigued all the time, and if you are fatigued, it could be just a lot of fungus inside. So we could do 2 drops of cassia, 4 drops of lime into a veggie cap, and then take that twice a day for about 2 weeks. Okay, so that should help. I actually had a lady that she said she had a 2-year coma, she said, because she was so tired for those 2 years, and of course the doctor found out that she had candida, and you know, I told her, I said, well, maybe you want to just try a couple of oils in a veggie cap and take it daily. And within a week, she was able to wake up earlier, because she woke up at 11 o'clock every morning. And then the second week, she said she didn't have to nap for 2 hours in the middle of the day. And then afterwards, you know, it just kept getting better and better. And so it was awesome. The oils can do a lot of great things for your body. You don't have to suffer some of those symptoms for too long. Okay, then next thing here is wrinkles on the back of hands. It's like, what about the back of feet? And I don't know. So this is from Dr. Susan Lawton. Cassia, 4 drops, myrrh, 3 drops, sandalwood, 2 drops, patchouli 2 drops, and lime 6 drops. Okay, so you can blend it in the morning and night, but if you are going out, don't do it in the morning, because we have, you know, I guess UV light sensitivity, and we don't want to get a sunburn right there. Okay, so that's something that you can do, and it's excellent for cuticles. All right, and water retention, 2 drops of cassia in a capsule, you know, or diluted with fractionated coconut oil, and rub on the bottom of your feet. So it's about circulation, you know, your body just needs more help. And remember, it's like fire, trying to, you know, warm everything up and, you know, cleanse everything out. Okay, so balance sex drive. It's like cinnamon. Cassia can help balance the sexual desires. So you can dilute, diffuse or dilute the oils and rub it on the bottom of your feet, or just diffuse the oils to smell. So in the Bible, they have a lot of references where people use cinnamon and cassia on wedding beds. And some of the soldiers are released for a year when they get married. So, you know, that's very important that you learn to connect. Okay, so that is for balancing sexual drive. And of course, it's great for cooking. So I've added cassia in our cooking before. Has anybody used cassia in their cooking?
Not me.
Well, you know, like gingerbread cookies and things, we do that. Cook clove and cinnamon and cassia, just crazy.
Did you do that at Christmas? My mom said you made the best gingerbread, that I would have loved it. And so when you said that, I was like, oh.
Yeah, actually tonight she would have been here, but she's got a TERRA class she's going to. Yeah, she's awesome. Yep. All right. Anyone want to add something, say anything, ask questions? All right, let's move on. Cassia is the oil of self-assurance. Okay, so according to the Emotions and Essential Oil book, the negative emotions, cassia will help you shift the following: embarrassed, hiding, fear, humiliated, insecure, judged, and shy, and worthless. You know, and it's really hard to just change in this way. But remember how cassia has that ability to cleanse the cells so that the cells can communicate again. So this is what it does. It cleanses all the nasty junk in your mind and help you see yourself for who you really are. So the positive properties of cassia that we can adopt are courageous, self-assured, unashamed, confidence, valuable, and authentic. So for confidence, just use cassia as often as you can, or put that in a necklace diffuser or something, and smell it throughout the day. Especially good for children who are in their teens and working out, you know, their changes and figuring out who they are. Okay, the cassia will help them be more confident in themselves. Okay, because that's a difficult time. Cassia can help restore the confidence. So it helps us be authentic and accept ourselves more. And when we find that we accept ourselves more, we attract people that love and accept us more. Okay, so when you see people reject you and you know, don't see the value in who you are, that's because you don't see that and you've rejected yourself first. So, you know, sometimes that's a difficult thing to work on, but, you know, like I said, Cassia is very powerful, so it'll help you shift through that. It's not something that can't be changed. Okay, so most people don't see their inner beauty or their power. And we don't allow ourselves to see the sweetness of who we are. So Cassia gives us that courage to see our worth and our value. So can you see how it's linked to the physical ability to metabolize sweetness? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if you can't see your sweetness, you can't see life as sweet, your body has a hard time metabolizing sweetness. So this kind of helps you clear out the junk a little bit. For everybody that's new, anytime you're using essential oils, you're always helping yourself on those 3 levels. You're healing mind, body, and spirit all at once. So you see people shifting and changing and looking different and feeling different and thinking different after they use essential oils. When people come across essential oils like me, I think, oh, you know, help me with my physical needs. So, you know, aches and pains and help me relax and sleep. And that's all I think that it could do. But, you know, soon you're surprised that it helps you change inside as well. And that's the most important thing. You change the inside and then the outside changes. So if you can create some positive affirmations as you use a Cassia to emotionally balance, that'll be able to help you heal physically much faster. Okay, so whatever it is that you're trying to help yourself change from, just do the positive affirmations too, and then it'll speed up your balancing process. So here's some suggested affirmations. You can say, I'm unashamed of who I am, and I am confident and valuable. Okay, so for me, you know, feeling like I was shy all my life, feeling like I missed out on stuff because I wouldn't volunteer even though I wanted to, it's really shifted and changed. I've been able to take more risk and feeling confident in what I want to share with people. It's just made a huge change. Does anybody use this for emotional healing? So my friend Jessie Reimers, she's actually a doTERRA Presidential Diamond. She gave one of the best talks. She said that she drove 8 hours to do a class and nobody showed up. And she drove home in tears, you know, that next 8 hours. And she said when she got home, she went to sleep, and then she got up in the morning and she got her Cassia out. She stood in front of the mirror, and then here she's tapping herself, tapping her heart, tapping her head. I'm confident, I am valuable, and da-da-da. And she just did that on stage, and everyone was cheering and laughing and clapping for her. And she said she just got up and did it again, you know, because you can't just let yourself fall in the pits and stay there, right? So that was an awesome example. She's only 25, 26, and you know, she was very successful and hit the highest rank in 2 years and 3 months. So she deserves it because she got herself up and she knew that she wasn't confident. She knew that she didn't feel worthy or valuable, and she wanted to change that. Okay, and you know, if she can do it, anybody can. Alrighty. So the last thing I want to talk about is the spirit side of Cassia. So here is another scripture in Psalms, and it talks about the garments smelling like myrrh, aloes, which is sandalwood, cassia, and it helps them be glad. In the Bible, we have everything in positive terms. They don't say depressant or whatever. You have to think of it as the positive. So it's like our brains, if you say antidepressant, you just think of depressant, really. So if you say happy oil, your brain knows to go to happy and switch on to happy. Okay, so Cassia has helped people feel joy in the past, and it still does today. So if you think of Cassia, I want you to think of the fire element. Here on out, it's the fire element for you. So our body is made of all sorts of elements, right? Fire, water, you know, air, and earth. So here is your fire element, and everyone has fire within them. We have passion, we have creativity, and passion. That's why sexual healing is part of Cassia too, okay, because that is part of us. Fire has an ability to refine and burn off the debris and leaving us in our purest form. So if we think, so hard for me to do stuff, and I'm such an idiot and whatever, you want to get rid of all that yucky, stinking thinking, and this is one way to do it, is to burn it out of yourself. Okay. Alrighty. So we often see our flaws and see that we're defective in some way, and we have a difficult time to get out of our own way. And like I said, Cassia is the way that you can burn away all those yucky impurities to reveal the real you. Okay. So Cassia is great for digestion, and you can see spiritually you're able to digest this new emotion, this new information, this new, I guess, state of being. Okay. It helps with metabolism, okay, and which is burning energy. It helps with creating movement in the body. So if you have things that are stopping you from being passionate, living your life fully with power, and you're feeling sluggish, then Cassia can go in there and kind of light a fire under you. Basically helps you develop self-love. And part of self-love is helping you find out, ways to like yourself and to feel unashamed of who you really are. Okay, so I have here a picture with other oils that are, like the fire element. So cassia, cinnamon, ginger, oregano, thyme, and black pepper. So I just feel like these oils do that for us. So for those people who are into chakras, this is your first, second, third chakra. It's just power, it's movement, it's action, right? So parents out there who want to light some fire under some of their teenage butts, this is a good oil for it too. So you can diffuse that in the air and help them feel more alive and awaken. Okay. A lot of us, when we get complacent, sometimes we need that too for ourselves. Okay, anyone want to say anything? Because that's all I have to say about Cassia.
The only question I have is when you say to put a few drops of this and that into a capsule, where do you get a capsule?
Okay, so doTERRA sells a bottle of, 200 capsule? And for $5. So they're the empty capsules, so you can open it up and just drip it in the capsule. Yeah. Yeah, we'll show you a picture of it. Good question. So you can go to doTERRA website here. So Ben's my tech support. He's amazing. He does a lot of work behind the scenes.
So those, it doesn't have a picture of it, but yeah, just little tiny capsules. You can put a few drops in, close it up.
Mm-hmm. They're empty.
It's made out of vegetables.
Okay.
So we have the blend I mentioned earlier, for insulin. So you want to line up your 3 oils, take off the lids, and then start to drip one at a time into your capsule, and then close the capsule up. Okay. Oh, yep. Here's some pictures.
So that, yeah, they just come empty, and you can just put a bunch of oils in them. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay. Speaking of putting oils in capsules, you want to make them and take them as you need it, because they don't keep. They'll burst in your hands if you even hold it too long.
Yeah, they'll dissolve.
So one of my friends, I don't know who it was, she kept on saying, just keep, just messing up and falling apart in her hands. And I'm like, what? Why? And come to find out, she did a whole bunch early on, and then she started taking it, and took too long. Because it's made out of vegetables and it's just going to fall apart. the idea is just to keep the oils together so that it can go down your throat. Yeah.
Are they different size capsules?
They're pretty good size. They're not too big. Yeah.
It's just the one size.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen any other different size from any other producers.
We can get tiny ones from the chemist, but some of them are, they have,
Pharmacists.
yeah, the pharmacists, they have BPA. So you want to ask them for the good version.
And you just got to be careful with the hot oils. If you drip them down the side, be careful.
And you have puffy lips for 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Like oregano and the cassia would be too as well.
Yep.
So I always do the hot oils first, because if you drip it on the side, then you can always start over. That's just my experience.
So I have cassia in my water bottle. I like it. It's sweet. Yeah. Alrighty, guys, that is cinnamon. We'll
Cassia.
end. Oh, sorry, Cassia. We'll end our call here, and we'll hang around and answer questions